we came up with the EASY, E.A.S.Y, treatment process. You got to have a disease and you got to have an acronym. And then you get a bestseller out of the whole deal, right? E, engage. Recognize that you are in a negotiation. The little light should go off on in your head and say, whoa, this is a negotiation here. Sometimes the other side tells you, we're going to have to negotiate this. Other times you just sense that, wait a minute, we haven't bridged those gaps. We haven't yet reached agreement. This is in fact a negotiation. Quickly in your head flip through those viable negotiation strategies and you're ready to go. All right, I've got my head in the game. Number 2, assess. What are my own natural tendencies? We all come into the world with tendencies. Terry talked about the Italians, and they like to fight, and they're competitive. And it's, if fighting between people was an Olympic sport, Terry, all of the medals would already reside with the Italians, right? Because they love to fight. It's entertainment value. Other people come at it as, oh, I want to collaborate. Other people want to avoid, and still other people want to go accommodation and give the other side what they're asking for and just get the deal done. So what are my tendencies and what are the tendencies of the other side of the table? Here's some really good news for you to write down. The other side of the table, most of the time, is incredibly predictable. The best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If they were competitive with you in the past, they're most likely going to play win-lose with you in the future. I'll never forget this one guy, because we do a lot of coaching, both on a webinar basis as well as individual negotiation coaching. I'll never forget this one guy. He called me up and he said, I got this customer that's asking for a 10% price decrease. And I said, okay, what's the history of the relationship been? He said, well, every year this guy calls me up and asks for a 10% price decrease for the last 5 years. And I said, and what have you done? And he said, well, we've given him the price decrease. And I don't know why he's asking for it. And I said, I don't know why he's asking for 10% either. If I were him, I'd be after 15. You have caved in every time. So as we coach, one of the most entertaining things is Don and I can tell them, they're going to say this today. And they go, oh, come on, you're not clairvoyant. You can't see into the future. They're going to say this today. Well, they've said it every time in the past. They're probably going to say it again today, particularly if it's been working for them. So that's the assess. I'll never forget, I had one office head. He said, with one of my clients, he said, I'm an accommodator. If we get out there and they pressure me for price, I'll cave in. I said, guess what? You're not going to the meeting, Slick. You're staying in the office. But at least he admitted it. A lot of senior level people don't admit that they are cave-in people. Then you strategize, pick the best strategy and a plan B. You always need to have a plan B when you go into a negotiation. How many of you have noticed something about umbrellas? Umbrellas are a climatary plan B, right? If you have the umbrella with you, you never need it. If you don't have the umbrella with you, golfers, if you leave the umbrella in the trunk, you better have the rain suit, because the sky is going to open up. So it's very important that we think through and we have and we plan for, and the team is prepared for plan B. That all comes together as your 1-minute drill for treating negotiaphobia. If you'll recognize it's a negotiation, if you'll flip through the strategies in your brain, if you'll anticipate what are my own tendencies, what the other side most likely to do, pick your strategy.